Hi, I'm Roxanne Garcia, and this is News Talk 710 KURV. And joining me right now is Erasmo Castro. He is running for Brownsville City Commission at large. B, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having us.
My first question to you is, we want to get to know you a little bit more.
Right.
Tell us about yourself and your background.
Well, I was born and raised in the city of Brownsville. I am currently employed with American Cancer Society. I work as a patient resource specialist where we help cancer patients find lodging or transportation. I have a bachelor's in Christian studies. I'm also an ordained minister, and I assist the Church of Christ down in Brownsville.
Nice, nice. Now, I'm sure people are probably tying two and two together with your name being Erasmo Castro and the whole Chisme side. I have to bring this up.
Right.
So tell us about that. You started a blog called Chisme. So fill us all in.
Well, Brownsville Chisme actually started as a fun page. We were trying to poke fun at one of my sisters. There's actually four of us that got started in my family. We were just poking fun at her. But it started to grow systematically because the concept of it was bringing out to light that which is usually said by the individuals that would sit in Market Square, or your barber or your stylist, because they had all the good information in regards to what was happening in the city. So it was a format to bring that into the light. Well, immediately it just started to grow and grow and grow and grow. And it was a play on the word chisme, but we did the C-H-E-Z-M-E-H. As of recent, we've dropped off the "me" and just kept Brownsville Cheese. And that's why I'm called the Cheese.
Yeah. So you're called the Cheese, but you're also running for City Commission at large. B. Now, because I'm guessing with this blog that you started, you might have maybe been politically involved with all that's going on in Brownsville. So what made you decide to run for City Commission?
Well, we started, as I mentioned, we started as a fun page, but then we started to get involved in a lot of the more serious issues that we considered were affecting Brownsville. One of our first stands was Save TSE, when the University of Texas wanted us to give away our community college to them, which included $250 million worth of buildings, and we were to keep a $20 million bond that we were going to be paying for years. So we took a stance. We got together. We got the community riled up and involved in the matter, and we actually were very successful in electing a good board that actually voted in favor of the community and not to give away our property. So throughout the years, we've taken different stands, and that was one of the reasons why I've opted to run for city commissioner, is because we want to bring to light everything that is said behind closed doors and put an end to the compadre system and bring back the city government to serve the people, not the other way around.
How do you get all the information for your Chisme blog when you're talking about the compadre system, which is pretty much the buddy system in English? Are they trustworthy sources, or how does that work?
Well, the way it developed is that individuals inside the city or inside BISD, because we work with different factions that are in the city of Brownsville, we've developed a good rapport with individuals to the point that they trust us. They believe that we are going to keep confidential the information that they send in, and after confirming information, then we bring it to light to the individuals or to different entities, and we start asking the questions like, where are our tax dollars going? Why did we purchase this? Why are we trying to sell this? And when we come back to the community and provide the answers to their questions, then that trust that we fomented back then, it just continues to grow.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your priorities, your list of priorities, and what you would accomplish if you do win this election.
Well, the number one priority is to bring into the light that which is said behind closed doors, put an end to nepotism within the city, start hiring individuals that are actually qualified for the positions that are out there available. A part of the compadre system, the buddy system, is hiring my nephew and my niece, and not necessarily the most qualified individuals. What happens with this is that we get a shady product towards the end, or a product that is of lesser quality than what we really deserve as the citizens of Brownsville. So those are my number one priority. That is basically my number one priority. But we have others, which include saving our parks, because our city has become a real estate city where they're trying to give away property, and then in some instances they're buying property at 4 times their appraised value from buddies that pay that put money into the campaigns of the city commissioners or the mayor.
Wow, that's a lot of information. I kind of wanted to ask you this right now because I'm just thinking about it. Going back to your Chisme page, do you ever fear that because of what the page has become, I wouldn't call it a gossip page, but people might think it is. Do you ever wonder that maybe sometimes might not take you seriously as a candidate because of what you have developed with that page?
Well, it's very funny, but one of the main issues that we fought, and it was actually last year, we fought when BISD was actually serving spoiled meat to our students in the schools. So when we received the information from inside BISD, we presented it, and we were really trying to get everyone on board. I mean, we do our best to confirm the stories that are sent in, but once you have the documentation in your hands, then you start asking the questions. We started asking the questions early in the morning, and by the afternoon, by 3 o'clock, BISD had put out a statement. By 5 o'clock, they raided the food department office and actually suspended the individual that was the director of the food department. Well, unfortunately for him and for his family, 1 week later he commits suicide. He puts a bullet to his head, and a lot of individuals, they pour out that, well, don't you feel guilty about it? I go like, well, wait a minute, they were serving spoiled meat to our children to make a buck. So, my level of sympathy towards the individual kind of dropped a little bit. I feel very bad for his family and so forth. But it's those types of situations that actually have granted us and given us the following and the credibility that we now have.
So I heard through the grapevine that you also ran for mayor. Is that correct? Okay, how did that go?
That is correct. Actually, it was the first time we ventured into the political arena, and this was 2 years ago in 2015. There were 5 candidates that were trying to seek the mayoral seat and defeat the incumbent, which was Tony Martinez, and. Out of all the candidates, we didn't think that anyone was actually stood a chance against the mayor. So what we did, I started personally trying to speak to different individuals that I thought would do a good job. And one of the individuals, which is a friend of mine, said, well, why don't you run? And I said, like, oh, that's just crazy talk. That's crazy talk. And then 2 or 3 days later, it stayed with me, and I go like, well, why don't I run? Well, we were 6 candidates, and I was one of the candidates that spent less money on the campaign, and we still came in 3rd place. So it was a very, very good showing after the election, after the general election, which, we came in 3rd. So there was a runoff, and both candidates were asking for endorsements. And I said, no, man. I mean, I ran against y'all because I don't believe in y'all. So that actually was a very good stance as well. So we did really well during the mayoral campaign, despite the fact that we have very limited funds. We spent $5,000 on a campaign where the mayor spent over $100,000.
Wow. So if you do end up winning this election this May for City Commission at Large B, what's the first thing you want to change? Or maybe I should rephrase the question, what don't you like about the Brownsville City Commission right now that you would change if you win?
Well, individuals that are my friends and who are on our social media sites, they know that one of the main things that they want and that we bring to the table is that we bring an individual who is accessible to the people, who will answer questions, who will find solutions to a lot of the issues that they are facing at all levels. I mean, all the way from a street being in disarray to a little girl losing her shoe at the mall. Mm-hmm. So I think one of the things that Brownsville is really yearning for is to have someone that's accessible, accountable, and will take upon himself the responsibility of the position. Unfortunately for us, my opponent and the other commissioners, not all of them, but other commissioners and the mayor, there's a saying that says we only see them during Charo Days, that festival that we have, because they're you can't access them, you can't dialogue with them, you can't talk with them. The only time they're out there actually is when they're trying to pander for votes. And that's just got to stop.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to let our viewers know? Anything that's, like we talked about earlier in our actual drive home program, a thorn in your side that you just want to clear out?
Well, a lot has been said in regards to, does he live in Brownsville? Is he not from Brownsville? I was born and raised in the city of Brownsville. I work for an amazing organization. I work for the American Cancer Society, and I work from Brownsville. and I work for Brownsville. So that to me is what's most important, that, you know, for the past 5-6 years, I have actually been physically and hands-on doing that which I've declared and stated that I will do as the city commissioner. So we've been hands-on, and we'll continue to be hands-on because we really love and care for our community.
Do you have a Facebook page or a website that our viewers, yes, but people can go check you out on?
Yes, we are on social media. It's Erasmo Castro, and there's in parentheses it'll say the cheese. We also have a page called Brownsville Cheese, but Erasmo Castro on Facebook.
Thank you so much. That's Erasmo Castro, and he's asking for your vote. He's running for Brownsville City Commission at Large B. Thank you so much. I'm Roxanne Garcia, and this is News Talk 710 KURV.